back, bros, to another video review. And today I have the opportunity to take a look at another World Wrestling Federation Sunday Night Heat Rebellion Series 2, The Rock figure. As for the contents inside of this packaging, we get The Rock, the figure himself, and he comes with actually 4 accessories. The accessories comes with 2 knee pads and 2 arm pads. And it's actually pretty cool because those are interchangeable and can be used with any wrestler of your choice. So here I am zoomed in to take a closer look at the details. And when it comes to the details on this figure, I can see resemblance of The Rock. Now, I'm just going to start with what we see the most and what's clearly visible. We have The Rock wearing a black t-shirt with his logo, the Brahma Bull, on it in the gold. Then he's wearing his joggers with the white and black stripes. And underneath those, he has his wrestling boots on. So now that the clothing is out of the way, here we are taking a look at the head sculpt. The head sculpt on this Rock figure is getting a little bit better per year that they decide to make these figures. And not only that, it's not using that real scan technology yet because this figure was produced in 2001. With that being said, the sideburn that you can see right here before you is definitely not correct. It's a paint flawed. It's got it like, I don't know. It doesn't look like a sideburn. It looks like it's some hair or something shooting over there by his cheek or something like that. But it's supposed to be a sideburn. But on the other side, you'll see later in the review that The Rock does have a shorter sideburn. And it looks like a sideburn while this one does not because it protrudes forward where his cheek would be. But all in all, other than that, I really don't have an issue with this Rock because on certain angles and certain, head nods or turns or directions you're looking at it, you can see The Rock definitely clearly, who is Dwayne Johnson with hair back in the 2000 WWF Attitude Era. The Rock's articulation on this figure is pretty much standard as what we got with some of the figures past that 1999/2000 time range where they were making the figures. So now we get a little bit more posability. As you can see right here, his arms can definitely bend 90, so that's pretty good. He has a full elbow joint rotation. The arm can go in and out because it has a little butterfly joint right there. The fist can go all the way around. My copy is extremely tight. The fist is actually closed on this copy, which kind of sucks in my opinion. And the hand's pretty nice right here. He does have a waist swivel. The leg can kick up this high. It can bend at 90 degrees. The toe can rock down and also forward a little bit. Other than that, and then the head, it looks left and also right. And like I said, guys, as you see, this sideburn is much shorter than what we get on this one right here. So yes, this is just how my copy is. And just to show off the back of the shirt, guys, in case you didn't see it, it says the recognized symbol of greatness. And then it's signed by The Rock right there. So pretty much, this is a pretty cool figure in my opinion. And this is pretty much the standard articulation as what we got for figures in this time frame, which is going to be the Sunday Night Heat Rebellion 2 series. As for the accessories that came with this Rock figure, as you can see right here, already on the figure, I have included a Rock elbow pad on the Rock figure. And like I said, it's a standard fit for all wrestling figures. So there's nothing extra you do. You just slide it on and it fits very well and looks good on whatever wrestling figure you choose to put it on. So basically just showing off one in my hand for details. The detail on this elbow pad is definitely has like a elbow pad stylized detail. Now with these elbow pads, they are rubber, so they do stretch a little bit, but if you stretch them too much, they do start to rip. So you must be careful on them when you apply them to your figures. You may have to wiggle them up there because some figures are, I guess, more slick than others, and then some are just more drier than others. So yes, if I want to put this on, it would go on this one, and then the Rock will have both. when it comes to the knee pads. This is the part that really has me cringing my teeth. And the reason why I'm cringing my teeth, because these are bigger, of course, but because they're not big enough to slide over the feet, they start to rip. So for instance, this one right here is good. I was able to slide it on, but I'm not going to do it for video purposes because I'm starting to break the other one. So I'm going to show you that one right now. As you see right here, it is starting to rip right there. And these things are definitely not as durable right here. See, look, guys, it's already ripping. So yes, when you put them on a figure, make sure it is a figure that you want to keep it on so that you don't end up pulling off like I just did. I actually had it on Chris Jericho at the time being. And then I realized, I was like, crap, how am I going to put this on a figure that I'm not reviewing that I have to review? So I had to pull it off, and therefore, like I said, guys, it's starting to rip. So I am disappointed on that. I wish there was another way they made these so it didn't rip. So those are all the accessories that came with this Rock figure. But other than that, I think it turned out great, and I really like what Jakks Pacific has given us so far with this figure. As I continue this flashback video review, here I have the Sunday Night Heat Rock in the middle, surrounded by other Rock figures in my possessions, of figures that I've had in my past and figures that I've just recently acquired. Now, the Rock to the right is the figure that I just reviewed. So if you would like to see that review, guys, please click the link in the upper right-hand corner, and it will take you directly to that Rock video review. With that being said, the one on the left, of course, is more geared toward his wrestling attire appearance, while the one in the middle is his street attire, and also the one on the right. Now, looking at all three Rocks, the two from left to center look very accurate and very similar. They have two sort of different facial expressions, but matter of fact, I actually think they're the same. They're the same facial expression, except the Rock is just in a different clothing attire, as you can see. But when looking at the Rock all the way to the far right, that does not look like the Rock. That looks like somebody else. I don't know, a cross between Vince McMahon and I don't know, but that is definitely nowhere near close to what The Rock looked like during this time frame. Next, for comparisons, here I have The Rock Sunday Night Heat figure, Rebellion Series 2 Rock in the middle, surrounded by other figures that I've already have in my collection from my past when I was collecting these figures as a teenager. I started collecting wrestling figures when I was around 12 and 13. So these are some of the ones I have left that I've never sold and I kept in my collection. Now, looking at these figures, The Rock definitely fits in with the Jericho and the Stone Cold Steve Austin, because those are some later figures that came out before the WrestleMania 2000 line. And that's where the Billy Gunn Bad Mr. ASS is coming from, and then the Eddie Guerrero. It is a later figure. It is the Rebellion series for that Rebellion pay-per-view, but unfortunately that line didn't have the articulated elbow joints, as you can see, and that reminds me more of that WrestleMania 2000 line where you see Billy Gunn with the same arms with no elbow joints also. And lastly, for comparisons, here I have the Sunday Night Heat The Rock figure compared with the Marvel Legends Miles Morales Gameverse Spider-Man figure, the first edition, and then also compared with the Studio Series Transformers Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime figure. And as you can see right here, guys, these are all toys recently made. And the oldest figure that you see in the middle is the Rock figure, but this is a figure I recently acquired to do a flashback review for, but just showing you how well these figures scale with one another, even though they're made through different toy companies. But like I said, this is what we get presently now, and this is what we were getting in the past. So just to show the scale and the height comparison of these toys, I just randomly pulled them off my shelf, by the way. So there is no connection to neither one or why I chose these figures, by the way. So now we reached a portion in my video review where I like to do the Yeah Bro figure pickup or pass grading system, basically where I get to share my opinions and thoughts on this recent figure that I have picked up and I have just reviewed before you. And not only that, if you're needing some advice or some caution to persuade you to either pick up this figure or ultimately deciding to pass on this figure, it's totally up to you and your decision. As for me, guys, I'm going to say this is a pickup for me because I definitely wanted a figure that came with the arm pads and the knee pads. He definitely came with that, so that checked off some of the accessories I wanted on my bucket list. Now, looking at this Rock, it's pretty much the same mold as what I already have for the Rock figure, but instead of the Rock being in his wrestling gear, he's more in some more urban updated street gear. I know I've already reviewed the previous Rock figure that came with the championship belt and his street gear, but it just seemed outdated and old-fashioned in my opinion. So I had to get this new Rock with the new updated, more modernized gear, and I think it turned out well. So the molding on this figure is exactly the same as what I already got with the wrestling gear attire Rock, except for they changed the hands. Now, looking at the hands, I will say that why give a Rock figure a closed fist and then a open hand? This Rock figure cannot hold a microphone, a chair. So for me, this Rock figure, the molding on the hands, I don't understand why they changed it from the grappling hands to this closed fist and open palm. So that's a bummer in my opinion. But other than that, this Rock is fun to play with, and the accessories are definitely interchangeable on this figure and also usable for other figures. So with that being said, it's definitely a pickup in my opinion, even though the hands are not the ones I prefer. This is a overall good looking Dwayne Johnson, The Rock from the WWF Attitude Era. So with all that being said, I ended up getting my copy through a third-party website, which I call eBay. I was able to purchase this figure from a seller on eBay for a reasonably cheap price in my opinion. I ultimately end up paying $13.50 before taxes, and the item had free shipping. So for me, I could not beat that deal, and I definitely wanted an updated Rock. Well, the same Rock of that timeline, but updated as in the gear that he was wearing, and then it made it a bonus that he came with both arm pads and knee pads for this Rock wrestling figure. So guys, if you're interested in trying to find this figure, I do recommend you checking on eBay or any other third-party website like Mercari or somewhere where sellers might be selling these older wrestling figures back from the 2000, 1999 to 2003 era, which to me is a perfect time to collect figures because I feel like the WWF Attitude Era was one of the best and one of the most popular brands of entertainment during that time. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. By doing these 4 actions, it shows my channel a tremendous amount of support, and not only that, positive feedback as a YouTube content creator. Thank you once again for spending your time watching my video, and until next time, yeah bro, I'll see you soon. And wait guys, don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you can be notified when I've uploaded new content for you to check out at your earliest convenience. Thank you.